Howdy folks, so Richard Keene here. This is just my second video that I'm putting on the YouTube. And again, this video and any videos I'm putting on here is to hopefully be of use and value to people. Anybody that might be stuck or struggling. And I know I've had my own points of being stuck and struggling, and that's why I would repeatedly go to different personal growth programs that have been infinitely valuable. And over a period of time, as I went to them, the dots started to connect more. And so I'm hoping, as I post any of these videos, that if in any way that I'm connecting dots, that it's would be useful to people, because it took me some time to connect these dots. And if I can share how I'm connecting these and it's useful, then that's the point. That's the objective. If for some reason you really, number one, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, hit the like button, share with others, make comments. If there's questions you have, post them. But again, just there's enough what I would call, where I see in the outside world people struggling, and we see that. A topic that's talked about is like mental health, emotional health, and we see the evidence of when that's not happening. People hurt other people. So, violence, violence turned inward, where you're not liking yourself. So that causes a lot of stress and strain, depression. That's going to make you depressed. You can't feel upbeat if you're feeling extremely negative, about yourself. So when people keep looking at what's happening in the outside world, to me, it's just an expression of a lot of people being in struggle within themselves. And really the primary thing is it has to do with taking care of that struggle within inside yourself. It doesn't really have anything to do with the outside world. If you're looking to change the outside world, you can look to that, but that's a lot of wasted time and energy. If you take care of yourself and you have compassion for yourself correctly, not in an egotistical way. This is not I'm great, I'm amazing. This is appropriately, correctly having compassion for yourself. Excuse me there. And when you do that, owning your own value, that's the game. And when you do that correctly, and you heal up negative thinking about yourself, and correctly, abundantly have compassion for yourself, you're on the right track. And you need to consistently do that over a sustained period of time to heal up any and all negative thinking that you've had that is an accumulation that's stored in your body and stored in your nervous system. So just thinking positive for a minute is useful, but if you have negativity that's stored into your nervous system, that's a load on your nervous system and on your body. And what we're looking at doing is rewiring that and undoing that negative load that's in your body. And negative thoughts about yourself, negative thoughts about the world, negative thoughts about others, that's an accumulation, and that, again, that puts a huge load on your body. It's not good for your nervous system. Very, very difficult way to live. So we want to undo these things, and we want to undo them so that they're not like a foo-foo thing where we're just making stuff up. We want to use our mind correctly to more correctly have compassion for ourselves. And there's reasons to do that. When we're not doing that, we're actually hurting ourselves, and it also net hurts the rest of the world. It's you hurting yourself internally does not help the rest of the world. It creates more of the negative difficulties and struggles that we see happening in the world when everybody's like, oh my God, things are getting difficult, things are getting bad. And it's like, yeah, well, it's evidence of people not being correctly trained in the process of learning how to love and like themselves. That's all it is. I see that everywhere. That's what's happening. Because if I like myself extremely well, not in an egotistical way, in a correct way, where I master that, when other people are being difficult, it doesn't really matter. It's just external noise to me. Doesn't mean I don't care, it just means I'm taking care of my inside. So depression goes down, my anxieties go down. I'm standing in myself. I become more calm. My ability to make better relationships go up. My inner peace level goes up. My ability to make and create better income goes up. And I learned how to have compassion for me, caring about my feelings. And when we're not taught that, what do we do? What are we supposed to do? I mean, if nobody gives us the path on how to do that, we're left trying to figure it out. But I don't think it's that complicated to learn how to do it. It's a matter of knowing, one, that it's appropriate to do that, to love and care about who you are, and not to be disrespectful to who you are, and not to make your feelings right or wrong. That's oppressive to do that. That's extremely oppressive when you make your feelings right or wrong. It's punishing. And then you're trying to look to the outside world to fix how you feel, but the core problem's inside. And I liken it to, excuse me, if you have a hole in your boat and you're taking on water. So if I go buy a new car, I get a new job, I do whatever. But if I have a hole in the side of my boat, I'm taking on water. Okay, so I can't fix it by a new car. That feels good for 25 minutes, or a couple days, and then the feeling's gone, and then we're still left feeling empty because we're not fixing the core problem, the hole in the boat, in the side of the boat, which is learning how to teach ourselves the process of valuing who we are. And when we do that, we start patching the side of the boat. And when we do this abundantly, the process and the idea is that when I love myself correctly, and then I start having this overflow, then I'm interested in sharing that with others. So that's the objective, or it's one of the objectives. One is to heal myself. I'm speaking for myself. I've been on that journey, okay? And then as I do that, I lower the tension and the stress that's in the world because I'm taking care of my inner stuff, okay? And then when I do it in a robust manner, I want to robustly have compassion for myself. So when you do this correctly, the only thing that starts coming up is, how can I help? Okay, so when you take care of yourself, and you learn to love yourself correctly in a robust manner, not in an egotistical way, we start healing ourselves, which starts healing the world. And then when you do it enough, and you have more than enough, the only thing that comes forward is, how can I help? How can I help? And it's simple. It's really simple, okay? But I think that it's not taught in an easy enough way how to do, when people say you need to love yourself first, but in my opinion, and then they don't give an explanation of how to do that. So this is my explanation. This is, second video. So I'm going to put those out there, and hopefully this is useful to people so that people can learn how do I do that? How do I fix myself? How do I make things better? So hopefully this is useful. Subscribe, hit a like button, add comments. If there's questions you have, I'll do my best to try to answer them. And I hope everybody has a great day there. Thank you.